Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever found yourself staring at your screen, literally biting your lip just to keep from laughing at a silly clip? Today, we're going to completely deconstruct the psychological hooks behind that exact phenomenon, the viral internet challenge designed to aggressively test your emotional self-restraint. By looking at a specific challenge from a channel called Laugh Trapped, we're going to uncover exactly how this content is engineered to hack your attention and force you to engage.
Here is our game plan for today. We'll be mapping out the exact journey a viewer takes across 3 escalating difficulty levels. We'll start with the anatomy of the hook, move into round 1 for beginners, step it up to round 2 for the pros, tackle the impossible final frontier, and wrap it all up with the viral conversion strategy.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Anatomy of the Hook, and how this challenge uses artificial scarcity to grab you.
Right out of the gate, the source material throws down the gauntlet. The narrator demands that you maintain a completely stoic expression. Not even a smirk is allowed. Then they hit you with this totally bold statistical claim. 99% of people fail. They claim only a very small percentage of participants, this elite, quote-unquote, unbreakable 1%, actually make it to the end. Telling you that a single laugh means you're out instantly shifts the whole dynamic into a high-stakes competition.
To give structure to this whole test of will, the narrator lays out a very clear, almost intimidating roadmap: beginner, pro, and the impossible. This framing promises you that each stage is going to be harder than the last. It essentially creates a ticking countdown timer in your mind, artificially raising the stakes before a single joke is even shown on screen.
Moving right along to Section 2, Round 1, the beginner level, where we establish the baseline.
So the very first scenario they throw at you is just a simple whipped cream challenge paired with these really shocked audio reactions like, "Oh God," and "Oh my God." And honestly, what's brilliant here is the absolute contrast. You have this life or death setup from the intro suddenly juxtaposed with humorous domestic scenes and super basic physical comedy tropes. The sheer absurdity of needing elite self-control to watch whipped cream antics sets a delightfully jarring tone.
Now, if you actually manage to survive this first clip without a twitch, the source material doesn't just pat you on the back. It immediately monetizes your success. The narrator jumps in and says, "Smash that like button to prove you're built different." This is absolutely crucial, guys. They are linking a physical engagement action directly to your supposedly elite status. You aren't just liking it, you are verifying your unbreakable nature to the world. Looking at this through a meta-analytical lens raises a really fascinating question. Why does being forced to stay stoic suddenly make the most mundane clips feel like high-stakes comedy? Well, psychology tells us that suppressing an emotion actually amplifies it. By explicitly forbidding you to laugh, the narrator creates this intense pressure cooker where the slightest absurdity triggers a massive involuntary release.
Okay, on to Section 3, Round 2, pro-level focus, and that stark domestic contrast.
To survive this middle tier, the source explicitly demands stone-cold focus. This is a perfect example of the hyperbolic language used constantly throughout the challenge to manufacture that artificial tension. Think about it. You aren't defusing a bomb here. You're looking at a phone screen. Yet, the language aggressively frames it as this monumental test of endurance.
But let's look at the actual content you are supposedly applying this stone-cold focus to. It's just a rapid-fire sequence of goofy, totally disconnected home videos. You've got someone randomly saying "lick it," grandbabies named Gabby and Bella trying to ride their bikes, some bizarre argument about a dummy and a computer, someone yelling "nobody let me out now, buddy," and a totally bewildered person saying, "I don't know how you're gonna battle." It is pure mundane domestic chaos.
This builds up to a massive thematic collision. On one side, you have the threat. The narrator constantly whispering in your ear that one slip means you lose everything and your perfect streak is gone. And on the other side, the reality. A completely silly clip of a person yelling at a dummy near a computer. The humor literally stems from this massive gap between how severe the framing is and how incredibly goofy the reality is.
Which brings us to Section 4, the impossible final frontier, where the hyperbole reaches peak levels. Welcome to the elite tier. But hey, don't celebrate just yet. The hyperbole here is off the charts. The narrator describes this final frontier as relentless and unforgiving. They double down on that artificial scarcity, reminding you again that only the top 1% survive. They demand pure focus and unshakable will, warning that there are absolutely no second chances. They're practically taunting you, asking if you are truly untouchable. And yet again, what is this intense life-or-death psychological framing actually paired with? absurdly disjointed audio clips. We literally hear someone yelling, "No, my castle," a totally random offer to have some drinking water, a really confusing demand of, "Hey, give me the back, I want to go on your back," and someone pleading, "Steve, gonna do not hit me." It's a masterclass in using bizarre, out-of-context physical comedy designed specifically to break that suppressed laughter.
Finally, Section 5, the viral conversion strategy, or in other words, the ultimate end goal.
If you somehow hold back that laugh to the very end, the source doesn't just say, "Hey, good job." Nope. It declares that you have officially reached legendary status. This is a highly calculated psychological move. They flatter you, making you feel like you've achieved something incredibly rare. By inflating the viewer's ego like this, the creator is perfectly setting up their final and most important call to action.
The true mechanics of the whole challenge are revealed right here in the conversion funnel. This entire setup is an engine built just for this moment. They use the manufactured pressure to explicitly get you to engage with the channel. They want you to subscribe. They tell you to comment, "I'm untouchable," if you won, or share exactly where you cracked if you lost. Win or lose, they have engineered a prompt to guarantee your interaction, which drives the platform's algorithm wildly in their favor.
Ultimately, deconstructing this whole challenge proves that these are never just random silly clips strung together. They are highly engineered engagement engines built with escalating pressure and strict rules to hack our attention. Which leaves us with a final thought. The next time you find yourself holding your breath and fighting a smile to win one of these, are you playing the game or is the game actually playing you? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.